and they say, hey, it's because of poverty and systematic racism and with all this stuff with white people, we don't love it. If they say that in the courtroom and the judge look at you and say, hey, well, that's what he's saying. Do you want him to go free? What would be your answer?
Why are you listening to them? Are they your leader? Why not fight to love each other?
That's what I would say, but there might be argument come because people don't feel like change. Nobody feel like, oh man, hold on, I gotta start loving motherfuckers in the midst of when I ain't feeling love.
Because nobody can make you hate.
It be in yourself. It's in yourself, and once you are aware of it, yeah, you gonna want to switch it up.
Self-awareness?
Where's your self-awareness? Critical thinking. Speaking of that, cause this is something that you gotta learn as a dad. And I don't know if people know that, but I could cold call on what's the caller over and over again till she pick up. My phone be sounding crazy. I think this is a very important topic too. But I never thought to ask everybody this because I always hear people talking about it. But if you watching, you want to chat, you put your joint in it. Oh, Lord, let's see, man. Hold on, man. I'm going to make somebody think it's a real emergency. Yo. All right, bro, this quick. I know you probably busy as hell. Yo, real quick, you hear me? Real quick, right? I'm streaming too, so I'm live. We got a couple answers here, but I want your answer for this. Think about it real quick. What is you know how people talk about the black experience in America, right? Yeah. What would be one of the things that you would say is unique as far as the black experience in America? Would you like some of the stuff that has been said so far?
I'm gonna pick gangs and drug dealing.
Okay, I said that. Okay, so basically, like, gangs and drug dealing, and I think that's very good because a lot of people will say a lot of people do that shit, but that shit means more to us. But one of the things is living in a toxic matriarch. So one of the black experiences in America is living in a toxic matriarch, one way or the other.
Oh, that's a good
one. Okay. The other one is learning how to love like out here and ourselves. Like, But I'm gonna break that down too, and I'm putting them on the bar, I'm streaming them too, and I'm gonna put that down too, and we going over all of them. I appreciate that, bro. How the weather out there? We all supposed to be having this big superstorm. How the weather going?
Oh yeah, it was a little cold, but I was out there.
Nah, it ain't reached all the way there, y'all. I think y'all supposed to be getting a little tough, like maybe tomorrow-ish around there, man.
Tomorrow and Monday, they still debating whether they're gonna close the schools because tomorrow.
Yes, some places already announced that they closing on Monday and Tuesday, and it ain't even gonna be that bad around here at that point. But all right, bro, I'm gonna let you enjoy the family time and all that. I love you, man. I just wanted to get that answer from you, bro. That was it.
All right, I love you too, bro. Yeah,
all right.
I'm gonna have to tap in and see what these are. It's a good conversation.
Yeah, excellent conversation. We breaking it all down. That's a fact. You already know, bro.
All right, I'll tap in a few.
All right.
All right, buddy.
Now, I could have put that on. I could have pinned that on there too, because I do think that. So, like, all right, now, that is a pervading thing in our culture. So, the bro said, like, gangs and selling crack and shit. Because me and him both was in the gang. Me and him both sell crack. Me and him both did time in prison. All this, right? And one thing that we big up in our society is what? Criminality. Criminality. And I'll get to that too. Growing up with a toxic mother and father, broken family structures. You don't get to see how a family may actually work type vibes, right? Like that. Alright, so hold on. Okay, let's get this here. And I want to put this down here a little bit so that when we pull the screen capture up, right? We ain't tripping. So criminality, and how could we describe that, like when we talking about our community? Like, do we say that it's nothing wrong with criminality? Like, how do we describe that? Broken family structures. Now, I could always say, like, one thing that I tried to do was, like, I always would tell, like, look, hey, man, like, if a person don't, like, you ain't got to listen to nobody, ain't got no, like, I don't want you to listen to everybody, right? But before we get to those, how can we, like, what do we say about, living under, like, or feeling like criminality and feeling like being a criminal and being unproductive and a criminal, being a gangbanger and a criminal is okay? Like, I kind of want to put that, see how I look up there. Being a gangbanger and criminal is okay, right? Slash desired. Desired outcome, right? So, hold on, let me go back. And I'll do it like that, make it easier, just put it up there, right? So, like the bro said, right? And look, I know the bro life, and let me tell you, bro, life can change, right? Because life can change because the bro kids don't really know who he was. I always tell them, I be like, yo, they don't know who you was. Because, yo, bro, it's a thing. We realize, we know who the kids look up to. So I told his daughter one time, like, you know, NBA YoungBoy. She like, yeah. I'm like, your pops was like, probably really on that. Like, I kind of know, like, and he was. I'm not saying NBA YoungBoy not real, right? What I'm saying is that, like, you know, NBA, a lot of dudes get money and they just start going extra crazy. Like, I know the poor. I know really, like, you know, like, the King Von I'm familiar with is the poor King Von. Like, the NBA YoungBoy I'm familiar with is the poor one. The one that just go do it itself, right? So being a gangbanger and a criminal is okay. And I kind of want to put red right here. Let's make it a Christmas color just to make it stand out, just in case you can't see well. And you like, yo, I want to see what's going on. Now, I'm not tricking nobody by this, right? But at the end of this, I may raise some other questions. I may be like, hey, you ever thought of it like this? And you be like, oh. But while we can, well, we always can, let's just be totally honest about where we coming from, the mindsets and what's going on. Now, how many people actually grew up in environments where it's like this? I always tell a story, and I'll tell it again. Shout out to my moms because she came a long way. Just spoke to her. She on vacation. She got on the plane for the first time. I said, hey, maybe one day I'll be able to get on. I want to experience it too. But I remember when I really started to sell drugs and my name was out there. I wasn't living with my moms. I was about maybe, because I started selling crack officially at 13 years old. What I mean by officially is I went to juvie at 11, but previous to that, we used to sell peanuts in the bags, kick the wall in, get some sheetrock, cook up some BC powder, make it look like crack and sell it, right? And you know the older dudes hate that. All over. They like, yo, you stupid, you crazy, you messing up the clientele of the neighborhood. Yo, you know how hard that person worked? What if she was out there selling herself and she done did all this and this to get this money and she come under you and you give her something fake? Imagine you making money and then you go and they give you fake stuff. Makes sense. But when I was about 13, 14 years old, the dude so I'm going to tell y'all this straight out. So he, rest in peace to him, he passed away. His name is Torrance. So, and ironically, the person who was accused of killing him is a very good friend of mine. Been on the stream talking from jail and everything. Not for that. He's 2-3 cases after this because he beat that case. And it was kind of on camera, and he still beat the case. Him and his cousin. But his cousin got wild time in the feds now. I don't know if he home or not. I know he just came home. But that dude used to rent a room in my apartment. We only had 2 bedrooms. So obviously I didn't live in the room. He rented the room. I had to sleep in the living room. This was when my mom was still doing drugs. But when I was a kid, it was like he was always joking with me or playing me like, you ready to get some money? You ready? You want some stuff? You want some? You want some? You want some? And I had sold the real thing before because I had found some work in a jacket, a Columbia jacket, that an old dude named Muckabeam gave it to me when I was younger because like family. Shout out to Muck too, right? And I sold it and I seen how the money came back. But when you're younger, you don't understand the process of spending money to get more of that. You feel like you should just get it for free and like, yo. But that's not a younger thing. That's how like a lot of the robberies and different things start to happen. You want to run out of, I don't want to spend money on it. I want to sell it, get the money part. But that's neither here nor there. So, but the way he was renting the apartment, and I'm only spinning this out to y'all so I could basically show y'all how me and my moms had met up. Because when I came home from, I was, and me and my mom didn't have the best relationship. Like I always tell people, I really learned to love my moms while I was in prison. Like all the stuff that she went through. Like, my moms did drugs. I feel neglected like this, right? But being in prison, you start to understand like, yo, hold on, bro. I got some issues too or some problems. Like, it wasn't just her. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and yeah, you younger. And I went to prison when I was 18 for a homicide. And I had a lot of time to do. So yeah, some people will be like, oh, your brain wasn't developed, but when you're in certain circumstances, you just got to think in particular ways. So now my mom's best friend at that time was like his girlfriend. So now I'm really officially hustling and doing stuff, and I'm up there at their crib waiting on him to give me some work. And my mom's pop up. First thing she said, I heard what you doing out here. I'm like, yeah. My mom's asked me for some money that day. I gave my mom some money that day. I had a little brother. Well, I still got a little brother. He older now. I went to buying him stuff. I remember my nana had got me my first pair of name brand sneakers. And I wanted to be the first person to buy my little brother a pair of name brand sneakers. And that I did, because that meant stuff to her. I remember the days walking out to go to school, and I ain't have money to get that bacon, egg, and cheese. You know how important bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches is in New York?
What's wrong with you?
It's like a status symbol.
What's wrong with you?
But this is a poverty thing, because a lot of times food is status symbols to people. I'm going to tell you when you at a good status, when you ain't got so many complaints. So, at that young age where I was in the streets, I didn't find it was not one adult. And when I met adults that told me like, hey, you a kid, what is you doing? When I was getting locked up. So yeah, I got locked up at 11. I came out at 13, about 13, around that time, 13, 14-ish, 14-ish, 15-ish, I think I got locked up again. I know I got locked up again. And then I came home for like another 9 months, and I caught another case at the high, first year in the high. And I was on juvenile parole from 11 to about 16, I think, right? When they let me off, or late 16, about to go into 7, when they let me off, because I had already been to my county jail. So I was on juvenile parole, went to my county jail, came home. They locked me up because you ain't allowed to get locked up and do crime while you on parole, no way, and put me back in juvie. But when I'm back in juvie, I already been to adult jail. We gonna finish this, but yeah, that's that. Hey, little mama. Just not a long conversation. I've been trying to call you. I've been calling around. I got a few answers. I'm live on stream, so don't say too much. We'll talk to you. We're going to talk. But I got a question for you, and I think it's very important. I want you to think about it, but you give me your answer. And if you need me to be, I will give you the answers that I already got from the stream and from calling people. When people say the black experience in America, to you, what would be something that you would define as a black experience unique to being a black American? You want some of the answers people gave?
No, let me try to conjugate ones on my own before I get in an influence from others.
I would figure she would want to do it like that because that's how I would want to do it like that. So it's like she like me. Go ahead, little mama.
That would be significant to the black experience. That's such a weird question to answer when you really think about it, because I'm thinking of things, but I'm like, other cultures can experience that in a different variation. Like, that's how I think about it.
Well, let me just give you certain things. I think you still gonna be able to think critically.
But, wait. Well, maybe one thing that maybe like, and maybe I'm gonna say colorism. And
okay, colorism. Look. Colorism is there. So like what was said was like learning how to love our hair and ourselves being darker, and we getting deep into it. So colorism, we touched on colorism.
Yeah, like I was gonna say, like I'm thinking of things like colorism, definitely hair texture, because when you're black, you can have variations of hair texture, variations of skin color, and like that is
a thing.
That's unique to us because we come in all shades more than others.
Not necessarily that too, but we trying to find so like the light skin look better than we think light skinned girls is better, like stuff like that. But
you don't gotta be mixed to be light skinned, so it's like that's really significant. Like you don't gotta be black and white to be a lighter.
Yeah. But we use it in some people will use that in our culture, like jokes and everything. But look, so that was one thing. But living in a toxic matriarch was another thing, right? Like it's kind of like we at the bulk of us living in, like, you know what I'm saying? That's how we come up. That's what we call single parent homes. Like being a gangbanger and a criminal is okay. It's desired outcome a lot of times. So those the first three things we got up there. Like the learning how to love the hair in ourselves, the toxic matriarch, and like basically like being a gangbanger, a criminal is like okay, it's cool, it's a desired outcome. Can you think of anything like something else that could be like kind of defined as what we call the black experience in America?
I think like I want to say, well, because you have middle class black people, but like when you like the options you feel you have growing up.
Ooh, yo, I knew you was about to say that. Like the options, like feeling like you or at least feeling like you don't have many options to be successful. Like,
yeah. Like you don't, even if you feel like you have an option, you feel like it's gonna be very, very hard. Like, like even if you have a dream, you feel like it's hard to attain your dream, or you just don't feel like you could dream at all. Like,
ooh, I like that. Yeah. I feel like that is kind, because some places they might not even have no dreams, but when you live in a place like America where there's opportunity and things, Can you imagine how far a group might be set back if they can't even see that? They can't see nobody being successful. Like, that's crazy. Hey, yo, you the first person like to kind of like be on the journey you on, like going to school, been in school this long, like to may have the potential for opportunities and to change things, huh?
That I really know of, yeah. And I mean, there's Aunt Nora, but she's doing good, but like I didn't have a personable experience with her growing up.
Yeah, exactly. But from the people that's around you, you feel like you know what I'm saying? Like you the first person really chasing it down.
Yeah.
All right, little mama, I appreciate that. We gonna get that up there. I thank you. I'm gonna talk to you, little mama. I love you. I was saying, like, I think dads could just keep calling and calling and calling and calling and calling. So I'm glad you called back because I'm about to call you anyway.
Yeah, I'm sorry. My phone was on a charger and I just wasn't by it. So.
Okay. I love you. And if anybody else think of an idea, ask that question because y'all on the college campus, man. I want y'all to be higher thinkers. If anybody else got a different answer or something, man, let me know. Call me back, hit me, message me something.
Okay.
Thank you, little mama.
You're welcome.
Now, that ties in with a lot of stuff, but that's how I think, one reaction causes another reaction. So it's like the gangbanger criminal joint, right? So how can we say that, right? Being born with a lack of hope, a lack of inspiration, like how can we say this properly to not like, so it's not just as like, is that inspiration ripped away from you? How could we actually say that? How can we actually say this? How could we actually being raised in an environment where we're taught or told that we can't be anything, it's too hard, being raised and told that you won't be anything, and that you're worthless. Could we say it like that? And then like, and how could we and what could we actually call that? Yeah, definitely stagnation. But it's like and we could always coin the term. We are allowed to do that. Plenty of humans have done every term we know. Like, I want to call it like stagnationism. Maybe add that, right? Like, is it a such thing as born into stagnationism?